Hello, everyone. Be on the lookout for an upcoming event we will be launching on future episodes. The NoCo holiday giveaway is around the corner, and we are partnering with over 10 local businesses to bring a giveaway to our listeners in both the months of November and then another giveaway in December. More details will be coming soon, so keep your ears perked. Or just follow our Facebook or Instagram pages to stay in the know. Now on to the show, The More You Know Co. Welcome to the More You Know Co. The treasure hunt of northern Colorado to see who or what we may find next. Today's guest is a very influential part of the NoCo community. Lisa Hudson is the director of the East Colorado Small Business Development Center and the UNC Bizhub Collaborative. Woo! Lisa is currently helping almost 500 small local businesses. Did you hear that number, folks? 500. She and her staff are helping dreams and goals become reality. Stay tuned to find out how Lisa and her team juggle this challenge and what misconception Lisa finds herself facing on a daily basis. Are you strapped in for the episode? I hope so. Let's go. Hello, everybody out there. I sit here in the office of Lisa Hudson, the director of the East Colorado Small Business Development Center and the director of the UNC Bizhub Collaborative. If you're confused already, you're not the only one. We will get into what all of this means. So hello.
Hello.
And we'll start with, what is the East Colorado Small Business Development Center?
So I'll give you a little bit more than that. The Small Business Development Center started in Colorado in the 80s, and there's 14 centers throughout the state. So East Colorado SBDC, Small Business Development Center, is actually one of those centers, and we cover 13 counties of Colorado. So we are the largest geographic center in Colorado, supporting everything east of I-25 to the Kansas and Nebraska borders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have about 22,000 square miles of Colorado that we help serve entrepreneurs.
And so do people travel here physically to have meetings with you all? Is it a lot of it virtual, both?
Both, and they used to have to travel here. So back in 2008, prior to me coming on, it was just the Greeley-Weld SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And so we only had an office serving Weld County, which was fine. But then in, I think it was 2009, we were approached to take over the Fort Morgan Center and other 12 counties. So we did, and we decided, well, it really doesn't make sense for someone out in Burlington, 3 hours away, to drive to Greeley for a 1-hour consultation with a consultant and then drive another 3 hours back home. So we started looking at models of satellite offices in which people could have an SBDC in their community. So we have 29 offices total. Greeley, the one you're sitting in today, is our only full-time office. The other 28 are satellite part-time offices. But now entrepreneurs don't have to drive more than 30 minutes to get to a consultant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are sitting on campus at UNC in Greeley?
Yes, we are.
In the Montfort School of Business?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being from the psych department, spending all my time in McKee, it's a
the
whole
red
other world.
brick building. Yeah.
Yeah, a whole other world over here. So how do companies find out about you, get paired with you?
So the SBDC, we offer 3 services to entrepreneurs and business owners. The first is free business consulting. The second is training and education. And the third is connection to resources. Most of the time being that they are seeking financing for their growth or to start their own company. So they find us mostly, we really get a lot of referrals from other clients, from banks and from other entrepreneurial resources like economic development. But another big hitter for us is our website.
So people just happen to stumble upon this website?
Yeah, they are looking for free business tools, or how do I start a company, or how do I hire employees? And those are all things that we help with here at the SBDC.
Would you say the SBDC has a certain ceiling for who they can help? Or, ideally you could help any business? Is there a certain, I want to say like a Goldilocks size of business?
Yeah, so we go by the SBA definition of small business, which to me is not really small business. That definition is 499 employees or less. That's a lot of employees. So
that doesn't seem that small.
No, it doesn't. So most of our clients are really, you would consider more of like a micro small business. You're looking at 50 employees or less is our typical small business client.
And do you have clients who come in and say, I just have an idea? Or are they not ready for the SBDC yet, if that's the case?
So we have people who will come in and say, I want to start a business and I'm not sure what I want to start yet. And typically with those clients, we really recommend that they take a look at what they're passionate at. What are they good at? What fits the market that they want to be in? Have them really think about that on their own. And then once they have that idea, have them come back in and we help guide them through the steps of, what is a strategic plan to make this business a success? Is it financially going to support you? Because if it won't support you financially, why move forward with it? I mean, you're passionate about it, but if it's going to be a business, it's got to make money.
Right, so you help them analyze the reality of their situation, their ideas, the possible futures.
We help ask the questions to help them realize those things. A lot of the time, if you're working with someone, you can tell them things, but I think until they're able to see it, conceptualize the idea, and find data to support whether it'll work or not, that's what's going to tell them if it's feasible or not. So we don't conduct feasibility studies, but we help clients realize what's going to make sense for them.
Switching to the UNC Bizhub Collaborative for a moment. How do companies get involved with this?
So the Bizhub, that's what I just refer to it for short, is really a much smaller operation. It is a paid service, so that's part of the reason why it's smaller. This year we're only working with 8 clients. We accept more, but it's very focused. So this is for the small business that is, I think, looking more at a growth phase than startup. We have 3 different levels for the Bizhub. There's basic, which you get one part of a project. So you get an online presence analysis, which can include SEO, or social media, a financial analysis, or an industry and market analysis. So you get one of those 3. And that starts at $3.99. The core level, you get all 3 of those for $9.99. And then the elite, which is what our current client base is made out of, is a year-long membership for $1,500. And that includes having a business plan written for you.
So these are companies who are already started. They're past the idea phase. They probably already exist, right?
Most of them
operating,
are.
Earning revenue, and now they come to the Bizhub and they say, help us brainstorm ways to get bigger.
Yeah. I mean, we do have some elite members who want to start a company, but they don't have time to write the plan to seek out financing or investors, and that's why they may join at the elite level to get that done. But for the most part, I would say they are in business and they're looking to either add a product line service or just move their company to that next level.
What is the difference in all of these? In the 2 services, I know you mentioned that the Bizhub sort of has a different level. It's more specific. I guess one of my first targeted questions is, do they share the same employees, or are these completely different entities?
No, we share the same employees. So I am the director for the Bizhub as well as the SBDC. And what you get when you join the Bizhub is more of someone who's going to do a lot of the work for you. So you don't have the time, that sort of resource to dedicate to doing some of these items, conducting the analysis, researching the projects, writing the plans. That's when the Bizhub steps in and conducts those things on your behalf. That's what you're paying for, is the actual work to be done. The SBDC, you are working with a consultant who will advise you on how to do things or review strategies to develop, but they're not working or completing tasks on your behalf.
Are there any students working with any of these organizations?
Sure, yeah. So we help connect SBDC clients and Bizhub clients with students across UNC and Ames Community College, as well as the Northeastern Junior College out in Sterling and Morgan Community College, to work on specialty projects. I work closely with Melissa Hoffman here at UNC for professional experience coordinator, so connecting students to small businesses to kind of help move that process forward.
So is it just like you have a pool of students, here are all their interests, here are all the businesses we're currently working with, and you try to play like this big matching game?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, most of the time I think it's a client is looking for a certain plan, or they're looking for some sort of engagement with the university, and that's when we do the matchmaking. I'm also the teacher's aide for a class called Small Business Counseling, which is actually how I ended up where I am today. And that class takes groups of students, 5 or less, and pairs them with a small business in the community to write a strategic plan. So it's really kind of a neat opportunity for the students to get firsthand experience with a real business, a real budget, something that's actually happening now rather than something based off of a book or a theory. And it helps the small business owner engage with students who are vibrant and young and excited, and they've got all of these great ideas to freshen up their current business.
Yeah, do you find that business owners may be giving this a shot thinking, well, I don't know if I'll necessarily get the best outcomes, but I'm working with UNC students and this could be exciting, and who knows what 5 fresh minds who are currently going through and learning about business in college may come up with?
I think that's exactly what they think. And most of our clients, they haven't gone to business school. So they don't know a lot of the things that seem fundamental to the students. They know whatever their craft is. You know, they know how to brew beer. They know how to create websites. They know how to install a light bulb or light switch, but they don't necessarily know, how to write a plan, how to develop strategic goals to help them achieve their financial targets.
And we've had several entrepreneurs on the show already speak to this, that they knew their craft, they knew their passion, and when it was time to turn this on its head and make revenue and a profit from it and make this their own business, at first they might have floundered with the business side. And and several of them have said, like, that is the challenge, is teaching myself and making those mistakes and finding out where are my resources, because now I'm not just doing what I love to do, but I have to make money from it, and I'm now supporting myself.
Absolutely. Time over time, we see clients coming in and the business is running them. I mean, they are doing their best to keep up with the orders that they have coming in, providing the service or the product that they have, but they are not managing their cash flow. They're not managing their employees. I mean, they're really good at whatever it is that they do, but that business side is all new. And so that's why they come to the SBDC or the Bizhub, is to, educate themselves on how to become a better business owner, be proactive rather than reactive to what's happening to them.
So you said the Bizhub has 8 current year-long clients. How many ballpark estimate companies would you say are working with the SBDC right now? Right
now, we're sitting at 544 clients.
That's way bigger than I thought.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we cover 13 counties. We are just sitting at 3,900 hours of consultations for SBDC. We've helped 15 businesses start, created and retained 219 jobs, helped these small businesses with capital formation of $15 million, helped them increase their sales over the previous year by $6.7 million. So we're really helping these entrepreneurs take it to the next level.
And now we will formally begin a recitation of these 544 business names. So if
in alphabetical order.
Yeah, you can start whenever you'd like. Instead of that, what are some businesses that come to mind when you think about your current clients at the SBDC, just to give listeners an idea of the wide array of things walking in your all's front door?
I can't actually give names of our clients because all of our sessions are kept completely confidential. What I can share is we help every industry in Colorado that's federally legal. Okay, so we do get an SBA grant from the federal government, so we can help any business that's federally legal in Colorado.
And so you see clients doing all different types of work.
All different types of work. We help service-based, like your electricians, your plumbers. We help small retail shops, big retail shops. We help agriculture. This is a really interesting project that we're actually working on right now. We were contacted by an attorney out of the North Metro Denver area who had connections in Vietnam seeking out ranchers who are raising grass-fed beef. So the director for that SBDC gave me a call and said, hey, who do you know that does this? And I said, well, let me get back to you. Well, we found one of our ranchers that does it on a small scale, and we are actually in the process of developing a relationship to export this beef to Vietnam, and we're looking for more ranchers to get involved. So it's a new product line that they're going to start offering to export this beef.
So you all helped make a connection possible.
We did, yeah. And we're working with the Economic Development and International Trade in Denver, as well as the contact over in Vietnam. Our client just took a trip over there, and they're starting the process.
Yeah. So not only are you helping businesses in their own way, but you become kind of this spider web of resources where you may not think it at first, but then a year later a different company comes in and they might maybe have a solution to somebody else's question or vice versa. And then you all start thinking, oh my gosh, like you all should meet each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we are definitely trying to become more of a hub for resources. You know, we don't want to duplicate efforts. And so if there's, you know, someone that can help another business owner, we try to connect them. And that way we're helping the overall local economy just improve.
Do you all have a physical space for business owners to come in besides just like a meeting room for a consultation? I guess what I'm imagining is like a collaboration space where business owners might walk in and say, oh, look, here's 3 other business owners and, I don't know, pick each other's brains, or maybe this is a silly idea.
That is really an interesting idea. We don't have that currently, but something that is becoming more apparent with our clients' needs is the opportunity to connect with other clients. An example, we had one of our clients come to my second quarter advisory board. And really, I just wanted her to come to talk about the work she's been doing with SBDC and kind of promote her company. And she had been having a hard time finding financing. And later that day, she had one of our advisory board members go to her shop and approve her for financing that day. So without her coming to that meeting, that wouldn't have happened. And we also have had, you know, clients connect with each other through the class that we have here at the Montfort College of Business. And they're supporting each other's small businesses. So something that we're considering hosting next year is kind of an SBDC client meetup where you can come and meet other small businesses within the area. As far as space for clients to utilize, we really rely on partners like the Greeley Chamber of Commerce, where they have spaces that, you know, chamber members can utilize. And there's a lot of other places within the community that have these spaces you can rent or reserve for free. So we try to rely on those.
Have you all had any students that started by collaborating with you while they were here at UNC and then later are now clients of yours?
Yeah, so we have done that. Actually, we presented to a class for Mylan Larson last week. I brought in one of my clients who just signed on a loan to talk about their experience finding funding. And he came in and said, listen, I'm really interested in starting business X and want to know what resources there are. Tell me what you can do. So that actually happened today. So we find that students are coming in now that we're on campus and seeing us as a resource as part of the university. And even faculty and staff, we've had a few faculty members and staff members come to our office say, I've been thinking about doing this for a while, or this is my side business. What can I do to take it to the next level and make this more of a full-time operation?
Do you find that students come to you all out of pure curiosity? Is it typically for course credit? I mean, do you find students are just like, I have this resource in my school of business and why wouldn't I?
I think they're curious. I mean, anytime we make a presentation, it sparks some interest for students to come here. And being on campus makes it convenient for sure. But I think that they're interested in knowing about what their community is offering at no cost to them. So why wouldn't they? And
especially if they're seniors, I'm not saying they necessarily are going to start their own business, but what a resource to be close to graduation and meet 10, 20, 50 people who have businesses in your area. Maybe it doesn't lead to a direct job, but just having that awareness of your community and meeting people and maybe getting ideas and saying, I'm kind of sitting on a business idea, not really sure, or, you know, maybe they're looking for a way to partner with someone, or maybe even say, hey, I really like your business idea. I'm a senior. What if you give me a shot? And I'm going to try to help your company out.
Or, we've got some students who are really interested in a certain area, and we can help place them for job shadowing with clients who currently do that so they can get a real life feel of what it's like to do that kind of work.
I know you're not allowed to, or you're not supposed to say the names of your current partners, and I don't know if you can answer this question, but do you have any success stories that you can share of specific companies that have come out of the SBDC or the Bizhub Collab?
Our 2017 success story is a local company here in Greeley. It's Aunt Helen's Coffee House, which they just located in downtown Greeley. They are a really interesting business, and one thing that they said was that working with SBDC kept them on track with deadlines and scheduled meetings. So sometimes they just need a liability partner, someone to say, listen, I need to get this done. When can I get this scheduled? And then we help them stay accountable to getting the things done that they need to get done. Some clients just need someone to, it's kind of funny, just give them homework. So that way the next time they come back, they've got a deadline set and we're saying, okay, well, did you get your homework done? Can we move forward with this step? And it just helps them continue to move forward with their business. And Aunt Helen's actually worked with our class that we teach here at the Montfort College of Business last year. And they got some really good ideas, helped with some menu redesign options, and it's just been a great relationship working with them.
Life without due dates is life in the Wild West. It is one reason why a PhD takes people sometimes twice as long, because once you get done with coursework and it's just all on you to finish whenever you can and / desire, it becomes difficult. So I can definitely see how entrepreneurs and small business owners might find this a valuable resource. Hey, it's an accountability buddy. It's someone who's going to check on me once a week, once a month. Hey, are you working on this? What do you think? Because if we don't have that, we might get into our own routines.
Absolutely.
Is that another success story I see over there on the desk underneath Aunt Helen's coffee?
This one here is just our impact from last year for our Bizhub. So our Bizhub alone last year in 2017, we helped capital formation for 13 clients at $3.7 million. So the impact levels that you see with Bizhub are quite higher as what you see that we're working with SBDC clients, just because they're on a growth track.
You know, that's a turnaround of millions from 6 or 8 times $1,500. I mean, look at the growth that you all are creating here.
Yeah.
With your ideas and collaborating with people.
Absolutely.
I will shout out Aunt Helen's. I am still trying to snag them as guests on the show. And what I really enjoy is their funky spirit they have to their social media, and just how everything is branded is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, that comes from Aunt Helen herself. For her success story last year, she had recently celebrated her 104th birthday, and she is snarky at 105 now, but she really has kind of been the heart and soul behind this business concept when they put it together. So we got to go to her birthday party and celebrate with her, and it's been a really fun journey helping them brand the coffee house.
All right, we got to put some things on hold. So Aunt Helen is 104. Okay.
Well, 105 now, because that was last year. Yep.
105.
Yeah.
Wow. And so she's behind this business, and is she like the one they modeled the character after?
She is, yeah. So all of the sayings that you see within the shop and on the chalkboard outside, those are things that Aunt Helen has said.
My appreciation just doubled.
Yeah,
I think.
most definitely.
That is so neat.
And they've got a great Snapchat, so if you're on Snapchat, you should follow them. They put out some pretty good stuff.
I can only imagine, because the Instagram is lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is it ran by other family members, or?
I think it's ran by Amy Hudson, who's one of the owners of Aunt Helen's.
Okay. That is so neat. I wanted to ask, and you touched on it earlier, how did you end up getting into a role like this?
Well, interestingly enough, I went to UNC. I'm a Bear. Go Bears. I ran track for the university. I went on a study abroad program in Mexico, and as I came back, traditional with study abroad programs, you're trying to transfer your courses to make sure they're working with your major, and I was having a bit of an issue having that work, and I was like, I just need to fill my schedule. So I took a class called Small Business Counseling. My dad, he was an entrepreneur. He started his own company, general contractor, building houses here in the area. And so I thought, well, this should be okay. I should be able to handle this fine. It was a night course, and the professor was an adjunct professor named Dick Pickett. He had started his own company, Into Juice. It was a franchise.
Oh.
Yep. So he taught this class, and like I said, it was the first time that I experienced at UNC something that was real. I mean, I was assigned to a company, a chiropractor out of Windsor, that had a real business, a real budget, and I was going to recommend that he do things in his company to improve his bottom line. So I really excelled at this class because I just felt so much passion for it. Growing up in the house of an entrepreneur, you see the ups of a business, you see the downs of a business, specifically in building homes, which is reliant on the economy. And so after the class was over, I got a call. I interviewed for the job at 3 o'clock, and my career was set in motion by 7 that night. Yeah.
Wait, okay. I thought we were like maybe a quarter of the way through the story,
No.
and then there was the final act. So what do you mean? You got the call
I got a call at 3. I came in for an interview.
for this role?
For not this role. I started out as a marketing consultant.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my
Right to the
confusion.
director.
Yeah, I was
No.
like, wow, okay.
No, so in 2010, I graduated. I came on board at the Small Business Development Center. At the time, we were at the Greeley Chamber, was helping small businesses with mostly marketing help. So they needed, a little bit of help with their SEO, developing a social media presence, branding, that sort of thing, since that's what I studied at UNC. So I did that for 2 years, and then I was promoted to the associate director. And with that role, I still was meeting with about 100 clients per year. Started helping with fundraising and budgeting, staff management. Then in 2016, my predecessor, Dick Pickett, he announced his retirement. The job was posted, so I applied for it. Interviewed against several other applicants and was chosen for the job. So I came on in 2017 as the youngest Colorado SBDC director.
And here you are.
And here I am.
My gosh.
Yeah.
So about a year in this role.
Mm-hmm.
And then how long total working with clients in SBDC?
I'm going into my 9th year now. I started in 2010 in August, so now I'm going into my 9th year.
9th year.
Yeah.
Working and helping people in the area with their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I know you've been doing this for 9 years and it's been your sole mission out of college, this next question is going to be way bigger than I thought. How has this role changed your experience in our Northern Colorado community? There's probably not a place you can go at this point where you don't know somebody, or at least you might interact with someone that you've helped indirectly.
I do feel that way, and it's completely changed my perspective on, even simple purchases every day, of how that can affect a small business, which therein supports your local economy. One of my favorite things is, when I started this job, my main focus was in the downtown Greeley area, and so I spent a lot of time trying to promote SBDC services to the small business owners, help promote the downtown in general, and I think 10 to 15 years ago, the downtown area wasn't necessarily somewhere people would go, and that's completely changed. The Downtown Development Authority has done a phenomenal job of promoting the downtown and making it a business-friendly area. So I like to go down there and see all the small businesses really thriving.
Yeah, Bianca Fisher was on the show previously.
Yeah.
And she taught me so many things, little nuances that they're doing to help improve downtown Greeley, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you drive up and down the 8th Avenue corridor right now, you can see everything that's exploding in the area.
Developing. And actually, Bianca was just named the executive director for the DDA.
How long ago?
I just got the email today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations out there.
Yeah.
And so, very cool.
Oh.
Big things are happening.
Big things are happening,
in reality. And I imagine that you go all around Northern Colorado and you see businesses that you've helped. And they might be in a different place than when you were. And is that rewarding? I mean,
it's really rewarding.
It's like throw you back in your memory banks. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a second, I think I helped these people.
Yeah. I mean, you get to see them when they first come in and they're talking about something that they're just so excited about and passionate about. And then you get to see them today and they're thriving. They're making a difference in their communities. They're growing financially. They're able to purchase new buildings, hire employees. I mean, it's really rewarding, especially from the SBDC standpoint, being able to offer that service at no cost.
Do you feel like the rising population in Colorado, specifically in the Northern Colorado area, is helping small business in general?
Yeah, I would say so. It just means more customers.
Many things can be said about rising population, but I feel like, it's raising all these small business boats, that it gives us more clients, more options, and more flexibility with our customers.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely true. I think one thing that I was surprised. We may have more population coming into northern Colorado, but the employee pool seemed to stay small. You look at the unemployment rates, and they're still so low. So a lot of these small business owners are trying to hire someone for their first time or hire more people, and it's still, kind of highly competitive.
When you have clients trying to hire their first employee, where do they typically go? That is a scary net to cast.
It is. Hiring your first employee opens a whole new boat of regulations and things that you have to follow. But what it also does is it makes it so the business owner has to delegate some of the responsibility, some of their trust into that employee. So I really try to encourage small business owners to think about that when they're hiring someone. Would this person represent my company like I do? Well, the answer is no, because no one will do it like they do. But they might do it almost as well. And so that's what you're trying to hire, is someone who's really going to promote the business as much and see it as important as the small business owner does.
Do they typically go to personal referrals, monster.com? Are we hopping instantly to the Craigslist?
Well, it kind of depends on the different industry that they're in. If you're looking for an administrative person, Craigslist is a great option. But if you're looking for someone that's maybe more of a professional sector in an industry, you might try Indeed, LinkedIn. Facebook even has a job section right now. So there's a lot of different options. I think referrals are a great way to go because you're listening to someone else that you trust to bring another employee in.
Feel free to answer this outside of just this past year's role, but your entire 9 years experience. What are some challenges that you've had? And so I know, let's just go ahead and let you answer that first.
Okay. Well, I think one challenge and obstacle and hurdle that I've had to overcome time and time again, my role here at the SBDC, starting off, I was a consultant. Well, when someone makes an appointment with a consultant, they have a certain visual expectation when they meet with that person for the first time, and I don't necessarily meet that. I'm, a millennial. And so when they come in, I know it. God, I hate them, don't you? I think millennials are great.
Yeah,
but
because we are both millennials.
Right. So, they come in and they may have owned this business for 50 years and they see me and, I have to build that trust with them that I know what I'm talking about. I can give them good advice. I can help them with their company. And so I think, it's something that you see in my office, which is different from a lot of SBDCs, is everyone in my full-time office, all millennials. Everyone...
Well, I don't know how this place is afloat. I'll tell you that.
Everyone in the field, my contract consultants, are been there, done that. So it's a really good mix. So if I have a client who's seeking a certain type of experience, reach out to one of my contracted consultants. If I have someone who's looking for the newest trend on Instagram, my office can help. So we have a really good balance of expertise. Anytime a small business owner comes in to meet with a consultant, contracted or full-time, you have to establish that trust. But I think if there's the perception that you're going to meet with someone that's gray-haired and experienced in that sense, that you're just set off a little bit and they just need to understand what you know.
You're getting at a question I was going to follow up with, and that is, do you think it is age, or do you think it's the stereotypical perception of this specific millennial generation? Or is it just, how can this consultant help me if they're younger than me?
I think it's all of the above. I think some people come in with a perception of what a consultant should look like and who they should be. Some people think it's an age thing. Well, what's this kid know that I don't? I've been there, done that. I've tried everything, that kind of mentality. And then there's the stereotypical millennial.
Flighty.
Yeah, all of that business. But I think once someone comes in, they meet with one of our consultants for an hour. That's our requirement for our first session, is 1 hour. They will see the impact that we can have with these small businesses. Our numbers alone show that we are helping these businesses move to that next level, whether that's startup, whether that's growth, or it's succession planning.
I find this illuminating because a part of me thinks that if a business is coming to you all and has sought you out and is seeking advice, then they would come in with some shade of humility, and it's
A lot of them do.
Right, and it just surprises me that this age effect is found, and you've consistently felt this.
Mm-hmm. We've had some clients come in that wanted us to prove our worth and wouldn't divulge certain details about their business until we met that expectation. So it's
playing it close to the chest.
It's really, it tests you as a professional. Interestingly enough, those clients that I've had that experience with, some of my closest clients that trust me with everything now.
Yeah. Once they got to know you.
Of course.
And they dusted.
But their business is their livelihood. Yeah. So you can't blame them for being careful about who they tell their business to. And that's what we want to do, is help them excel at what they're doing.
And I mean, I've fallen victim to these same ideas. For example, I will catch myself sometimes seeing people driving, and I think, my God, did I look that young when I got my driver's license? And then I say, oh, hold on now, Ivan. Let's not be judgmental. And I find myself at 28 already in that role. And I try to just empathize and remember what it's always like when someone doubts you just because of your looks or how old you are. Mm-hmm. And try to reframe myself and hopefully stay okay with that into my later years.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, have you felt that at all?
Yeah,
I mean, working with students maybe sometimes?
It's really fun to work here at the university because every semester we engage with students in different classes. And every year I think, gosh, they just look so much younger than what I remember I was looking like, but I'm sure, that's just what happens with age.
Well, it also reminds me when I see celebrities who are the same age as me, I just think, there's no way. They look way older than me. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe this plays into self-esteem or yeah. It's very interesting, right? Because I forget, it was like a month ago, I found out a very famous celebrity was pretty close to my age, like within a couple of months, and I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Or I think about this when I see NFL players, and I see their
I know.
lineup, like their photos,
yeah,
or their short videos,
and they're younger, and you're like, you do not look younger than I am.
It's like, you're 22, you look like you could be my dad.
Yeah.
Like, what? There are some lies being spread here. Yeah. A challenge I was interested to know about is, have you experienced challenges where you felt like your advice could or should be working, or there was just some piece of the puzzle that you weren't cracking and that kind of followed you home at night?
Absolutely. I mean, we face it all the time with clients is, they are doing everything they can to find more customers, help their bottom line. And, some of these clients we meet with on a weekly basis. And we're looking at the activity they're doing, and we look at their financial targets, and we've tried to come up with everything we can for them to meet that financial target, and sometimes they just can't. So we have to look at what the target is and say, okay, is this realistic? Or have the conversation of what they're doing to help grow their business. And sometimes those are hard conversations, and I definitely take things home at night and think about them and try to figure out, well, how can we rearrange this website to make it more user-friendly? The way they have it has information that they need, but man, when you go on there, it's just a hot mess. So how can I help them see these things?
Are you ever out on the weekends and you just, hang out with friends or family and you're sitting there doing a task and it's like, whoosh, an idea just kind of comes across your mind because you're interacting with, let's say it's a clothing designer and you see someone's clothing and it just like reminds you of something, and then you're like, oh God, I gotta write this down or text myself?
Well, that's why I use Siri to set reminders for me. So on Monday, remind me about the such and such. And so I definitely try to use technology to help me remember to do things, or when things like that come across my brain. It's really hard to turn off my SBDC hat when I'm out doing social things, because I'll, go into a business and I'm like, gosh, if they did this, it'd just be so much better, and it doesn't cost them anything to do this. Should I just tell them? And I have to tell myself no, because I'm out with my family and I'm not consulting, but I have been known to just give my cards out when I'm out socially.
So if any listeners out there get a card from Lisa, it's probably not the best time.
It is a good thing.
I don't think the ship is driving itself at that point. Oh, do you think one issue of small business growth is simply exposure? like we have a great product and people just don't know about it yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can look in a mirror for that because the SBDC, we're sitting at just under 600 clients right now, but we could be helping so many more if people just knew about us. And the same thing happens with small business owners. If they had people who knew what they did or what they have to offer, they really could grow. And so developing that brand and figuring out the best way to market with the dollars you have available really can make the difference.
Yeah, dollars you have available is a tricky phrase.
It is.
Because it takes money to make money. And so do you feel like a big portion of your advising comes down to, here's 3 ways we're going to try to get the word out on a shoestring budget?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's another reason why they utilize a lot of the students here at the university and other community colleges, because they can utilize classes to create marketing strategies on those, guerrilla branding budgets or shoestring budgets.
Right. And it's another way to plug students back into the process. Do you feel like this role, not just limited to the community, but do you feel like your 9 years of experience helping people start their own businesses has changed you as a person outside of your job, besides trying to resist handing out your business cards to everybody?
Yeah, I do. I mean, kind of as we were talking earlier, I think it has made me realize, shopping local really has that much of a difference to a small business and a small community. The trend that you're seeing more and more is to buy online from these big box stores or big Amazon shops, whatever. If you were to take the dollars that you spend there and support your, local boutique or barber or whatever, it has such a bigger impact and it helps keep the dollars within your community. And so I think that has been a big eye-opener for me. Even if it costs more, in the long run, what you're doing is you're supporting your local jobs.
The listeners who have navigated themselves through multiple episodes of The More You NoCo are now groaning because they know exactly what I'm about to say about farmers markets. It's like a prime example because is it more expensive than going to King Soopers? Sure. Is it more meaningful? In every way. You find people from the community, and when you walk out with 4 or 5 bags of straight up grocery, I mean, it looks like you just got back from the grocery store after you leave a farmer's market sometimes, but you have faces attached to those products, and you've helped people, and these are people from the community. And there's one lady who makes the best cherry crumble on the planet Earth, and she drives all the way up here from, I think, the Longmont area, and she drives to Denver. She goes all over just to sell desserts to people. And, I enjoy supporting that.
What's really neat is when you support the small business, you support the farmer's market, is you get to learn more about the people behind the product that you're purchasing, which I find so moving because they're putting their passion, their love into the products that they're trying to sell. And you may be spending, 5 to 20% more on those things, but that they are supporting someone else's passion and dream.
Yeah.
So how can you say no to that?
Right. And on a graduate student budget, that is a decision I've made, right?
Right.
Because, don't make the most money, but I really feel like we all pick and choose priorities of where we're going to spend our money. And I feel like that's one that a lot of people can get behind. And I think it just takes a couple of times. And I'm not advocating everyone has to go to the farmer's market, but when you start to buy things from people who live around you and operate in your community, there's a building background sense. And you are becoming more a part of your community. Yeah, and I feel like that has to be so strong within you after 9 years of helping small businesses. It's like, not only may I buy from this boutique, but my boutique is doing this because we talked 4 years ago about this specific thing. And wow, I went there last weekend and I can see that they're still doing that. Yeah, I mean, going into my 9th year here at the SBDC, I see these small businesses continuing to thrive. I have some clients from when I started at the SBDC, that first year, and it's really neat to see that their idea has come full circle, and they're, sometimes even getting to the point where they're thinking, well, I'm ready for my next venture. I want to sell this and start another business. And we can help them with that. Were there anything, or over the last couple of years, has there been anything that jumped out to you as a huge surprise, or maybe as a general feeling that you've had? A surprise people may not know or expect from your side of the table?
The most common thing said to me is, I don't know what I don't know. Well, obviously. But
it's a powerful phrase, though. I use it all the time.
And they say that because I'm trying to find how I can best help them. And that's what they say is, I don't know what I don't know, and I need you to tell me. So that's starting from ground zero and figuring out what is the root of whatever problem, or let's call it opportunity, that they're facing is, and finding out the right route to take them to that next level. And I think a lot of small business owners, the number 1 and 2 reasons why they fail is they don't have enough money. They're not managing the business. They're being, like I said, reactive to what's happening rather than being proactive to make their business work.
And how do you feel like you get people to make that switch from stopping being reactive?
You know, a lot of people are against business plans, and I totally get it. It seems like such a traditional route, old school, out of date, but it's not necessarily about writing a 30-page document. It's about identifying where you are now, where you want to go, and how to get there. So I try to get my clients to start by identifying what their goals are. Most of the time, personal and business are all intermingled, which makes sense because this is, again, their livelihood, their passion, their dream. And so being able to separate the two and identify routes to get them moving forward, to be proactive, is the best way to help them.
Crap, I had it right there and it disappeared. I don't know where to go after this, but here's where we're going to start. I'm sure some of your clients go cross-eyed when they come in, they meet you, Millennial, and then you say, we're going to dust off this old idea called the business plan. Yeah. Sit down and get ready.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, who am I talking to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think the business plan it gives them a direction. Because, if we're being reactive, it might be like putting out tiny fires in your apartment. Run over here and put this out. Run over here and put this out.
Exactly.
But if you have a goal, then you have a direction that you can start walking. Maybe walk with a little more grace and confidence if you know which direction you're going.
Right. And I think you really hit it on the head when saying like they're putting out all these small fires because they're reacting to what's happening to them, then setting their own fire. And so by setting these goals, number 1, financially, where do you want to be in the next year? How much money do you want your business to make? How much money do you have to spend to make that happen? What can you do in activities and tasks to make that happen? Now, depending on who we're working with, we make it look a little different. So if we're working with a creative business, it's got to be visual. So we use the business model Canvas. If we're working with someone who's very linear and list-oriented, we work directly out of a plan. Switching
gears just a bit, are you from the Northern Colorado region originally?
I am. I grew up between LaSalle and Kersey, just down the road from Greeley, and grew up locally. Went to UNC, and yeah, I really love the Northern Colorado area, and now that I'm in charge of Eastern Colorado, I visit that territory a lot, and I get to see all different types of Colorado.
Yeah, and being born here, growing up here, you've really seen the rapid expansion over the last decade, 20 years.
Yep.
And you've been able to see maybe your hometown change, you've definitely seen Greeley change, and so not only have you been a staple for 9 years in helping business as a community, but this is your home and it always has been.
That's correct. I mean, I've had the opportunity to go other places, and I did a study abroad program in another country. Traveling is a passion of mine, but I still think that Northern Colorado, Eastern Colorado has so much economic opportunity that it's exciting to be a part of.
We just talked about this on the most recent episode, but I feel like Greeley's growth is always a surprise to me when I see the numbers and I hear Greeley's growing at what rate?
Yeah, it's really crazy. We hit the 100,000 mark, was it last year? And it's just rapidly growing from there.
Well, as we wrap up here, if there are small businesses out there, and I suspect there are because I'm starting to get contacted by people who would like to be on the show because they want people to know that they're out there. So if we have any entrepreneurs out there who feel like the SBDC might be a sweet gig they can hook up with, or UNC Bizhub if they're looking for the next step of growth, how might they contact you all? Is there online forums? Where should we send people?
Visit our website at eastcoloradosbdc.com and start there. If you are not tech savvy, pick up the phone or drop by. We are here at the Greeley location in Kepner Hall at the Montfort College of Business 5 days a week from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 4 on Fridays.
Again, see, Millennial supporting using a phone number. We are rising above expectations here at the SBDC. Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
As always, I want to shout out Russell Isaac Long for all the wonderful music used here at the NoCo. Are you looking for a little bit of bonus content in addition to the regular episodes on the show? Look for us out there on the interwebs on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at the NoCo. Until next time, peace!